Watch this animation. It's too real. It can't be an animation. Or it's just an image. Let me tell you something. It's just free playing. Maybe you haven't created these things in Blender, and maybe you have, but you don't know why it looks like a model and it's so realistic. I'm going to explain to you all of these questions in this video. Hello, welcome to the Atelier Graphics channel. In this channel we are going to teach you how to work with a series of softwares. Just hit that subscribe button and the bell to get a notification when we upload a video. This scene is created by a series of textures and we have combined them together, and this scene is the result of that. We call them PBR textures. Now we had to know what are PBR textures. Sometimes you want to render a realistic scene like this, but it's hard to create all of these things, colors and materials in Blender. So you had to use image textures. You can see by its name it's just image. But there is some questions here. How an image is going to look realistic in 3D scene? How it's going to reflect the light? Or which part of the object is higher? Or how you can use the textures and how to download them. Stay with me, watch this video to the end. I'm explaining all of these to you. At first, we have 3 websites for downloading free textures for Blender, and you can find them in the description and go and download textures like this. You can see in these websites lots of categories of textures and choose what you think is good for your object, and you can see a preview here and download your texture. But remember, you can see lots of different qualities here for the texture, like 8K or maybe 16K, but they are not necessary and they will take all of the space of your RAM and maybe your Blender crash. So I think 2K or 1K are enough for learning and using in your projects. After downloading the texture, you can see there is not just one image in this folder, and there are 4 or 5 and sometimes even 6 images here. So this is the answer of how an image is going to look realistic in 3D scene. First of all, it's not just the image. It has several images with different uses. We will combine them with shader editor in Blender. Important ones that you can see and use in almost every texture you have downloaded are these: base color, roughness, normals, and displacement. First texture is base color. As the name suggests, base color is going to tell this is the color of my surface. So had to add this image as color to your object. So for adding a color or any material to your object, you had to select the object here and add a new material to it. After that, go to the shader editor. You can see with this color value object, base color is editable, but we need a texture. So we will add base color texture to the node editor. We can find it here and drag it on the shader editor. And now we have a texture here and we will connect it to the base color and it's good looking. But if we want to rotate or scale this map or texture, what we should do? We had to add a node to manage it, and we will call it mapping node. It's just like a controller for our 2D map. We will connect these two and our texture is gone. Because mapping node doesn't have an input, so we had to add input to it, and we call this one is texture coordinate. With Shift A and search, we will add it and we will connect it to the UV, because we want Blender to put all of our texture on the UV map, not on object or anything else. You can test them and look the result, but best way is the connecting the texture to UV. Now you can see here we have the base color very well, and if you want to scale or rotate or move the texture, so try this node. You can scale UV map along whatever axis you want or move it. So next one is roughness. This map tells the Blender which part of the map has sharper reflections and which part less. We will add it like the base color and we will plug it to the roughness and to the map like the base color with no differences. And next ones are displacement and normals, and we will plug them with the bump map. So we add a bump map with Shift A, bump map to the normal of the shader like this, but bump has a blue input for normal and we need a blue output for normal texture, so we use a normal map and it's kind of a converter for our texture. So with Shift A we will add a normal map and we will connect it to the texture and to the bump map. Like that, we will connect this displacement to the height, and we will plug these two to the mapping node. What is displacement? And what is normal? Displacement is about the shape of the object. Some points of the object may be higher and some of them may be lower. And displacement is telling the Blender with 0 and 1, like black and white, numbers and colors between them, that part of the surface has how much height. And normal is just like displacement. It's about the shape of the object, but if you look at this normal image, it has different colors and each color is representing different axes of direction in the texture, and it tells the Blender this part of the object have direction to a specific axis, and it's done. And if you render it with perfect light and camera view, you will see it's like real photo. And now let's look at this photo. Only differences between these two is in this one we have displacement and normal texture, but this one doesn't. This one is more realistic and you can find out the height and direction of breaks. And here you can see the different effects of the displacement and normals. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, just hit that subscribe button and click on the bell to get a notification whenever I upload a video. Have a nice modeling and great day. Goodbye.